to the top, there ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, own property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. I'm flashing for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show.
What's up, y'all? AJ Simmons back here for another great interview for you guys. Today I have Miss Margo Burr and Miss Joy Burley. They're sisters, and they started a cleaning company. Actually bought their starter kit back in June 2020. About a year later, I saw they posted in the group that they were getting out of the business. So I thought it would be a good idea to bring them on to show a different perspective. So, all right. So first, give a little bit about yourself. Basically, the background, what you did before you got into the cleaning company, and just start this interview off right.
Okay, all right, so I'll start. So myself and Margo, we're sisters. She's a little older than me. And we started a business back in 2018 called Groove Kids. So it's a mobile dance studio where we go around to preschools, where we actually live in Baltimore. So we go around to schools all around Maryland and offer dance, gymnastics, and creative movement to children ages 3 to 5. So that's where we were really before the pandemic hit.
Gotcha. Okay, and then how about you, Margo?
Yeah, for me, like Joy said, we both had Groove Kids, but as far as a little bit more about my background, I'm more of like entertainment and television. So I do a lot of TV work. I'm more so like a fashion and lifestyle expert. So I like represent different brands on television. So I was doing a lot of that and doing Groove Kids also. So as soon as the pandemic hit, things changed. So yeah.
As for everyone, and shut down everything. We literally went from being in over 40 schools in Maryland to 0 overnight.
Yep. And then my TV segments kind of went to a halt. They weren't allowing anyone else coming in the studio. They weren't even doing virtual. I don't even think they even knew really how to even navigate. So it was kind of one of those things like our business, both my businesses and Groove Kids was just like non-existent and we're overnight, like Joy said.
Wow. So what is that? What made you get into the cleaning company or cleaning business?
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of is like, so kind of sort of, I have like I follow this lady on Instagram, and she had Jamal Bryant on her page. And I know you guys know he's from Baltimore, but now he's in Atlanta running the church. And he was talking about different businesses that people should start. And cleaning was one of them. And he mentioned cleaning churches. And so I thought to myself, it's not really something I could do, but I know we can make money on it. So I had told Joy about it. And then we completely forgot about it, stopped talking about it. Then a couple weeks later, her twin, Joy's a twin, she brought it up, something about cleaning. And then me and Joy looked at each other and we were like, is nothing else to do. So let's just try cleaning. Because the way Groove Kids work, it's a mobile dance studio. So we go to the different daycares. I had to do calls and stuff. So the model was kind of the same. So I'm like, Groove Kids doing a mobile cleaning business is kind of the same thing. So it seemed easier at the time to do.
Gotcha. Okay, then that's actually, first of all, shout out to Pastor Jamal Bryant for putting that nugget out there. So shout out to him. I'm getting people and plugging me and don't even know they're doing it, right? But anyway, so shout out to him for that. And that's crazy. So that was almost like a sign, basically, like, you know what, let's jump into it. So y'all did jump into it. And basically y'all hit the 6-figure mark almost instantly. It took about 2 months, I believe, from the time y'all bought the starter kit. And then next thing I know, y'all had an $8,500 a month contract. It was a school. And once the school time kicked in, I think y'all got it in the summertime. So when school season came around, it jumped up to $13,000 per month. And so first, how did you even get the contract?
Well, we'll do that.
So it was a lot of work. Like I said, I know that it's a numbers game. So it's one of those things where I had to like continuously call. So we had to figure out what we wanted to narrow it down to, because there's so many things you can clean, right? From a car dealership to a school to daycares. It's just so many. So we were like, what can we do that would kind of be the easiest way to get into? So we said daycares, because we already doing Groove Kids in daycare. So let's just do that. So we ended up, I called, if I showed you my spreadsheet, I probably literally called within that journey, probably 500 businesses, and everybody's like, oh, we're already in a contract. Oh, we're already doing this, that. So it literally took me probably, and I'm not exaggerating, probably like 500 calls to get that number. And it was very discouraging. You know what I mean? I mean, our business that we had literally just stopped. So it's like, what do? We have to make money. So it was one of those things, we were in a situation where it was do or die. So I had to hustle, we had to grind. And when we got that, I was like, yes, we hit the jackpot. Yeah. Hustle, like consistency is key. So that's kind of how we got it. It was just a cold calling and following your method.
Right. So that big one, thank you, by the way. So that big one that you got that actually from cold calling. So tell me a little bit about, like, how was it emotionally going through that time period, because 2 months look in hindsight seems fast to get your first contract, especially at that size. But really, in reality, when you're going through, that's a long 2 months. It's like, are we ever going to get a contract, right? So, like, could you kind of talk about the emotions you went through during that process and why you didn't quit?
Okay, so I guess to backtrack a little bit, I didn't mention my dad actually knows a gentleman who has like a large a restoration company. So he reached out to him when we first tried to start the cleaning business, and he ended up getting us a contract in an apartment unit. So that's how we first started. But that was a smaller contract, right? Cleaning out different units. And so we had that. We was feeling like we had momentum. We got the school contract. We were like, yes, we're on the ball, 2 contracts. And it was, even though we were doing that, it wasn't a consistent thing. It was like the building had a fire, so we ended up having to come clean out. They let us know what days they needed us. So it wasn't something consistent, but it was something enough to get our feet wet. So when we got the school, it was discouraging, because it's like, okay, we got this one. Why isn't other things coming fast? Like, I kept, again, comparing everything to Groove Kids. Like, why can we get all these schools, but we can't get schools to clean? Like, I wasn't understanding the concept. So it was literally just, like I said, being persistent and consistent. And I did have days when I was telling Joy, like, I'm done. Like, because she knows I'm a people person. I like to talk. She's like, I'm not calling anybody. That's your job. So I was just like, okay. So it was just, AJ, it just really was, it wasn't a struggle, but it really was like only the strong survive. Like, the more consistent you are, the more people you reach, all the no's that one yes, it made up for all those no's, you know what I mean? And it wasn't a little contract. So it was like, it was worth it. So going through the motions, it built my character. It helped build our business. It helped me talk to people, close sales. It helped me along the way, now that I'm outside looking in now. But going through it, it was like, oh my gosh.
Absolutely. All right. Now, how did y'all know how much to charge for the contract when y'all got the opportunity?
Well, being in your group in the Clean Biz Network, we got a lot of help from there. So it was one of those things where we were like, all right, should we charge this amount? Is this the right number? And I know in your in the starter kit is one of the modules that helped significantly with that. So it was I don't remember exactly what the formula was, but it was a formula that we had to use in order to get that number.
Gotcha. So shout out to me and the Clean Biz Network. I appreciate that shameless plug there. Helping y'all with the bid. All right. So now, personally, I hated schools, like cleaning them. I didn't like them. I felt like the teachers always complain. You can never satisfy them. And in my case, most of the time they didn't pay what I felt like they should have been paying. So was y'all experience any different? Could you kind of tell us about y'all experience with cleaning the schools?
Yeah, so when we initially got the contract, the good part about it was we got to meet the maintenance gentleman. So he told us exactly what buildings we needed to do and what exactly needed to be done. So the sweet part about our contract was that we were like the second cleaning company to come in. So they already had an in-house company that literally cleaned throughout the day. We just came in after hours, where all the teachers left, for 3 hours and just wipe dust down. So the job was as simple as basic cleaning, bathroom with the toilet, the sinks, cleaning off the lockers, cleaning off the railing, vacuuming. So really just basic janitorial skills. So it really was easier than we thought, to be honest. It was just a lot of work that went into it, and we didn't realize the extent of the work, because it wasn't like it was just one building. We were on a private school campus, by the way, which probably had like how many buildings, Joy? Like at least 6 buildings.
Yep, 6.
It was huge, and we had to get all that within 3 hours.
Gotcha. Now let's jump into, since it was that big, obviously you had to hire, right? So let's talk about the hiring process. What worked for you, what didn't, and also, did you guys ever do any cleaning, or did you straight, hire from day one and you never cleaned it? You just kind of hired people to experience. How did that go for you?
Okay, so I was more so the one who did the hiring. So I went right on Indeed and I posted an ad, and it pretty much was booming overnight. So we had so many people that applied, and I just went through and did a whole bunch of interviews. So like I said, I'm the one who took care of that part. So I would interview and then tell Margo, as soon as it was over, I called her and tell her how I liked the person or how I didn't like the person. And I kind of just found out, what their experience was. And I mean, it was one of those things where, of course, when people interview, they put on this nice front until you actually see, how they are, which is something we'll get into later on in the interview about one of the people that we did hire. But it was really just giving people a chance. So it was based off of, how the interview was. based
Gotcha.
on who we
Yeah,
hire.
and we did, to answer your question also, AJ, we did clean in the beginning. We did the first
Yeah.
week just to learn and see what we had to
Mhm.
do. Then we made a video of ourselves, like, we got this Friday. Me and Joy recorded ourselves. And I was like, hey, everybody, welcome to For Your, our business is called For Your Glory. Welcome to For Your Glory Cleaning. We're so excited to have you on board. This is what you need to do and how you need to do it. So that we kind of had our system in place, sent them the video who we hired, and then they kind of did it how we needed to do it.
Mhm. And then of course we went up there, throughout the week to check in on them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you got to check the quality. Now, that was huge because what you just said is something that I always dreamed of doing when I had my cleaning company, but I never got around to doing it. And this is what I tell people to do. So on my channel, y'all hear me talk a lot about systems, right? That right there is a prime example of what a system is. When you do the cleaning, record yourself doing it. Now you don't have to like physically train every single person about how to do it every single time you hire, right? You have a system in place, you pop that video in or the DVD or pull up the YouTube, wherever you have it, where you can train them. Now, obviously, you still know how to do a little bit of hands-on, but that video right there automatically, now you got a system for training. So that was a huge nugget for anybody out there watching. Appreciate y'all for sharing that. All right. So,
Yeah, and guess what? We got it from you. So
see, I didn't even know I put it out there now because I be
Yeah.
thinking to tell people stuff. I'm like, dang, did I tell them that? That's so good. I'm glad I said that. Appreciate that. All right. So I saw in the group just 1 month into this particular contract, y'all had the situation where an employee said that the other employee stole some inventory from the school. So could you kind of touch on, how you handled that situation?
Yes. All right. So I was the one in charge of the staffing and the tiers, and they corresponded with me daily. So what happened was the young lady. So, okay. So we ended up having 5 people on staff, right? So I ended up making one person a lead and another person an assistant lead, just in case they weren't there. So we had to systematize it that way. So the lead, allegedly, he was a male. He stole furniture polish. So my assistant lead, she gave me a call crying and was like, Margo, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but so-and-so, I saw him steal something. No, she said somebody on our team is stealing something. I'm like, why? First of all, why are you crying? And second of all, like what? Like, just tell me what's wrong. And she's like, so-and-so stole furniture polish. I saw him take it yesterday. Mind you, the furniture polish in the school, the school gave us a janitor's closet. So we were sharing the closet with the school. So he stole the school's furniture polish, not our furniture polish. So that's what made it even worse.
Right.
So she was crying on the phone, and I was like, okay, like obviously she's not lying because she's not going to call me, and she's crying at the same time, and she was being so dramatic. So I was like, okay, let me just handle it. So then I didn't even get a chance to handle the situation. She calls me back 15 minutes later and tells me that the same person who stole just left because that's what he wanted to do. He left and said he had a funeral to go to. So I'm like, okay. Boom. So I asked him, like, so did you, I'm like, I was told that you stole furniture polish. She was like, we just got paid yesterday. Why would I have to steal any furniture polish? I'm like, okay. So now it's literally her word against his. I don't have proof, but she told the maintenance guy that happened. So now is he going to tell the person that gave us the contract that happened? You know what I mean? So it's like a snowball effect. So I asked him about it. He said he didn't do it. So I'm like, okay. So then when she calls me and tells me that he left, Maryland's of at-will state. I was like, oh, he's gone. So when she told me, when he left, I called him. I'm like, so did you leave campus? He said, yeah, I had a funeral I had to go to. Who authorized you to leave? Who did you ask or tell anybody that you was leaving? He was like, oh, I forgot. If someone passes, you don't forget stuff like that. So I was like, you're all game and I'm not for it. So I told him I was going to send him an email. So I kindly sent him an email and I terminated him because not necessarily because of he stole, because I didn't have proof of that, but I know that he did because I could just tell by his character. And then he left the same day, which he knew, I feel like he felt the energy I was getting ready to come up there. So he just scrammed from the scene before I could even get up there. So it was messy, but and we ended up replacing it, obviously. I mean, it wasn't on me, but that's our company. And I truly stand by anything that anybody does that's under us, I am liable for. So we ended up replacing it. And I apologize to the guy from the maintenance from the school. And I assured him that it would never happen again. So.
Absolutely. And that's huge because see, that's things that people don't realize when you say, I'm gonna start a cleaning company and I don't want to clean anything. I just want to hire people and I want it to be automated, blah, 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 right? People see the dream, the way it sounds, but these are real situations that could actually happen. So I appreciate you sharing that experience with us. All right, so I got to jump into this. I remember June 23rd, 2021, just here recently, Joy posted in a group and said that you guys were basically getting out the business. It wasn't for you. So I had to come on and ask you, you know, to come on and share why, because I did see that when you guys first got into it, y'all said y'all got into it because of the virus that was going on. I don't want to say it because they're gonna flag my video, but y'all said y'all got into it because of that. And so first, actually, I already went over that. I was going to ask you, why did the virus make you want to get into it? But you actually answered that in the beginning of the video. So now I want to ask you is, why wasn't this cleaning industry for you, especially after seeing the amount of money that y'all saw in it? Because I don't even know if y'all got another contract after the first one, but just that one alone was big enough. So what made y'all realize that this wasn't the industry for you?
Well, honestly, after losing the contract, for us, it was very discouraging. Like, we were down a little bit for a couple of days, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we just lost it. Because of course, we hired somebody who had a background, we gave them a chance, and that backfired on us because they ended up doing their own background on their own, you know, the school.
Right.
So once we lost that contract, we were just like, wow, we felt like we were doing the right thing. We hired somebody, gave them a chance, and then, like I said, it backfired. So
so was that the guy that we were just talking about? Was he the same guy?
No, it was actually a lady who was excellent, right? She was an excellent employee.
Right.
Excellent. So we honestly did not regret giving her opportunity.
Gotcha. So y'all lost the contract just specifically over them checking her background.
And I guess what this showed us, and I guess anybody who's watching this, truly do your background. Like, yes, you may be trying to do something nice for somebody, but in business, it doesn't matter about niceness. It's about what the school standards are, what the standards are for certain businesses. For an apartment complex, they might not mind somebody who potentially had a background. They're not even the same person they were many years ago when that happened, right? So you can't penalize somebody for that. But schools, they don't care about that. So if you're looking for schools, don't hire anybody with a background. I'm sorry to say that, but you can't do it. And it's very unfortunate. If it's like a government office or a government contract, don't do it. You can only do it for places that are like independent, like apartment complexes, or if you're cleaning for someone's house, or there might be other rules and regulations I'm not sure of. I don't want to really speak on that, but just do your due diligence and research to see what kind of things that they look out for, I guess, when they do fingerprinting.
Right. And that's, so hold on, let me check and see, because it was something in particular. So, okay, so did y'all get another contract after that one? Or was that the only one y'all actually got?
Yeah, well, besides that, in the apartment unit, yeah, we were over it, AJ. Like, to answer your question, I now understand when people say that it's not about the money. It's not about, it's about my sanity. And if I have to clean another toilet and I don't want to clean another toilet because somebody called out, that means that's not what I'm supposed to do. And that's when me and Joy came down to the realization. It was to the point where me and Joy, we had got as far as getting our MBE, it's the MBE, right? I always call it MBA. It's not an MBA, it's MBE. With the government contracting, like me and Joy literally went full force, government contracting, getting ready to do it. But then when we saw all the rules and regulations, you have to be in like 3 years of business. And it was just so much that went into it that we weren't necessarily qualified for at the time. And then all the work that I put in to get that one contract, just for them to tell me, I'm on my way. I'm on my way to the school, and I get a text, an email from the lady saying, "Oh, Margo, call your employees. We don't need you guys to come in today. Give me a call." 30 minutes. How rude is that? Why couldn't you tell me if you knew that my employee was in your eyes a criminal? Why couldn't you talk to me as a business? Why couldn't you talk to me and say, Margo, this is going to potentially ruin your contract. You either get rid of her or y'all have to go. She didn't even give us a leeway. And that's what I realized about business. It's business. It wasn't personal. And that's what me and Joy had to get through. When you lose contracts, things always end up, better, working in your favor and better. And that just truly showed us that it really wasn't what we wanted to do, because if we would have got rid of her, we both would have had to end up cleaning, and we didn't want to do that.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate y'all for even coming up, because a lot of people would have been, I don't know, like somehow ashamed or trying to hide. Yeah, I started this company, but actually we shut it down because blah blah blah. And it's like, listen, sometimes things don't go the way that you thought it was gonna go originally, or you figure out actually that was cool, I learned from it, now I'm gonna do this, right? So that sounds like what you guys did. And so now I want to ask, before I go to my next question, is, so what are you both doing now going forward?
Well, we're hoping that with Groove Kids, we're not giving that up. So schools are slowly starting to let us back in. So we're still doing Groove Kids. And also I actually start nursing school next month.
Okay, congrats. All right, and how about you, Margo?
For me, I'm still doing television. It's going great. I love it. I literally got my first national segment where I did that for Access Hollywood. So I'm doing that. I've been doing that consistently. And I started a PR company. So I've done, it's like I should have been, it's like I was running away from what I've always was supposed to have been doing. And I'm right back where I was supposed to be. And I'm so grateful for the experience, for the cleaning opportunity, because it showed me and Joy, we are hustlers and we know how to make money. We know how to start a business from the ground up. We did it once, we could do it again. And but you just do it with industries that you actually want to do.
Mhm.
So that was the lesson.
And not just for the money, exactly.
That's a fact. And it's funny y'all say that too, because I wanted to speak on this. You just reminded me to say it. There's a guy I watch, right? He got into a particular industry. He's doing the Toro business where he's renting out cars, stuff like that. And it just, he hitting headache after headache, people stealing the cars, tearing the cars, all type of stuff. And his point is he's trying to show people basically how real business is, because a lot of YouTubers won't get up there and tell you the truth, how much of a struggle it can be, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes, because this guy's already good, he got money, but he's just doing it basically to prove a point. And so what I really want to tell him so bad, dog, yes, that's true, but you can also pick a smart business. Like sometimes you got to make sure that you think about every single thing that goes into that business. Like for example, with the cleaning business, I specifically chose it because I was like, hey, well, I could do any type of service business, but why I want to do the cleaning is because you got AC. I just want to be in the air conditioning, you know what I mean? Ain't no customers gonna be in there. I can put my headphones on, mind my business, right? And so I considered that though, but some people don't consider that. Well, you're also gonna be in the dark. You know what I mean? Going out cleaning after hours a lot of times. You're gonna have to dump trash. It might be raccoons. If you're scared of animals, how you gonna dump the trash? Raccoons on the trash can, right? So it's little things that you really got to think through. So I'm glad that y'all pointing this out. Like maybe this particular business might not be for y'all, but maybe it might be for somebody else. But you as the viewer got to be able to look at everything or whatever type of business you're thinking about getting into and really think that through. So I wanted to point that out. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, another question I always ask everybody this towards the end of the interview is, if somebody's watching this, they're on the fence, they're thinking about jumping, but they're scared to do it and they want to get their clean a bit starter kit, but they ain't sure because Margo and Joy got out. What do y'all have to say to them?
I would absolutely say to get the starter kit, because just to build the business alone, it was so many golden nuggets in there. Just honestly, I think without that starter kit, we wouldn't have even gotten the contract that we got. It was so helpful. And even it was super helpful that you sent us everything that we needed, because we would have been in Home Depot or Lowe's like, oh, what should we get? But you sent us exactly everything that we needed. So it was very helpful. I would definitely absolutely recommend getting the starter kit.
Yeah. And it's so many moving pieces. Like people think starting a business is just like, oh, let me just pick up let me go buy my own, let me go search and find my own on Google how to start my own cleaning business, right? And then they don't know all the moving pieces that goes into it. You know what I mean? And you truly in all the modules broke down what you need to do step by step. And there were things in the business, you know, even though we ran a business before, there were things in there. I was like, oh my gosh, you do need to do that, you know? So it opens your eyes and gives you a different perspective. And if you're a student and you're willing to learn and invest in yourself and actually make a return on your investment, because yes, we're out of it, but we made our money back times 5 maybe. So it's not even an issue. But if you're going to get in it and half it, don't do it. Like only do it if you're serious and you're a hustler and you are willing to pick up the phone and cold call and you are willing to do what it has to do to get your business started. So I say yes, 100%, but not for the weak.
100%. I couldn't have said it better. I appreciate y'all. Now, I gotta ask you this before we go into this lightning round, because I know the Margo you're in TV, and I saw that y'all had Groove Kids on. Y'all had a TV placement for that. So if you could share anything about how one of us might get some TV placement, any advice on that?
It's so funny because I always tell Joy, I'm like, it's so easy. She's like, no, it's not, because it was easy. People were doing it. Like for you, AJ, it's probably easy doing cleaning, but it's really not. It's a lot. Right. Okay, so I guess the first thing I would say is if you want to be on TV, you have to know what you're talking about. What are you going on TV to talk about? So if you want to go on there talking about your business to showcase what it is that you do, I would highly suggest that you do your research. Yes, there are many TV stations in your area, but a lot of TV stations might not cover segments. Segments are is clips that is not necessarily news based. It's guests coming on and talking about different things. So you need to go and see what news stations allow guests to come on. That's your first step. Second step is have the story. What are you going on to talk about? So you kind of have to know how to pitch, and you have to know what reporter to reach out to. So I guess what you should do is call the TV station. I'm giving y'all real nuggets. So call the TV station. If you don't know who the reporter is, you can find the reporter on Instagram, because they all have Instagrams. Find their contact page, who works for that station. If they're not the ones who takes or accepts pitches, then you need to call the TV station and ask for that booking producer's email them. If you don't hear back from them, follow up. And if you don't hear back from them, just wait, and then wait like 60 days and then resend another pitch. But be consistent, be persistent, try to build relationships with these reporters and these journalists, and follow them on social media, comment, build those relationships, and then reach out. That is truly how I got started. I've been doing television going on now for 4 years. I've booked myself over 200 television segments, and each one of my business, I'm able to do that for also. So literally the key is building those relationships with people, not taking more than you're given, right? And really just being an asset. So if you're going on television, why am I watching you? Like, what value are you adding to my life? Are you showing me that you can know how to clean, and you clean so great, and your company, why is your company so great? Are you going on there to talk about being a relationship expert? Like, what are you going on television to talk about? Have a clear message goal, find out who that person is that you need to reach out to, send them a pitch, follow up, build a relationship, rinse and repeat.
That's what's up. Appreciate that. Real nuggets right there, y'all. So now we got to jump into this lightning round. Before I let y'all go, I'm gonna say a word or a phrase, and you can kind of tell me the first thing that comes to mind, that what it means to you, and you both can answer each thing that I named. So I'll start with you, Joy. First thing I'm gonna say is family business.
Everything.
All right, Margo.
Legacy.
Okay. All right, Baltimore.
Stand up.
That was good.
The best crabs ever.
Okay. I'll try them next time I'm up there. All right, ownership.
Accountability.
Discipline.
Absolutely. All right, Clean Biz Network.
Hopeful.
Awesome.
You know I'm gonna plug it. I appreciate y'all. All right, what else we got? Favorite movie?
I like Den of Thieves.
What was that?
Den of Thieves.
Okay, Den of Thieves. Got you. Okay.
War Dogs.
War Dogs. I never seen either one of those. So I'm gonna have to check them out. All right. Cool. All right. So that's it, y'all. Appreciate y'all so much for coming on. It was fun, and it was great too. I think people can get a lot from this interview. And how can we follow each of your journeys going forward?
Well, my Instagram is Joy, JoyBeChillin. Joy Be Chillin.
All right, Joy Be Chillin. All right, and Margo.
My Instagram is @it's Margo Burr, ITSMARGOBURR. And then if you need more information on if people want to learn how to get their business on television or anything, you can go to my website, which is the letter B, the number 7, publicrelations.com, B7publicrelations.com.
Perfect. And shout out to, what was it again? I got to make sure I said this right. Groove Kids. All right. Shout out Groove Kids. I got to make sure we get all of this, you know what I mean? Get everybody plugged in, make sure everything's under control. All right, cool. Thank y'all again so much for coming up here, for real. It was a pleasure. Y'all didn't have to do it. So I just thank you again. And I'll talk to y'all soon, hopefully. So I appreciate y'all, and good luck going forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.